Thank you, everyone. Legitimately, I can't actually feel my arm at the moment, so that's a good thing or a bad thing. It's snapped in two. Listen. Hold on. Yeah. So, I first thought about doing this talk to highlight issues I found as a student of cybersecurity, both as a university student and a self-learner. I actually spent a lot of time doing this, and with one hand it's really broke, so we're just going to admire this for a second. Okay, brilliant. So, the good, the bad, and downright ugly of cybersecurity education. Yeah, the boring stuff. I'm a full-time applied cybersecurity student. I'm a full-time self-learner, and I'm an active STEM ambassador. That's something I'm really proud of. I've got a dog. He's my favourite dog. He actually broke my arm. I do forgive him though. But you notice he's wearing some like kind of spacey kind of fro, so he's very, very fitting for this talk. And I like cows as well. That's just some random stuff. I've got like a quote-unquote South Park disclaimer. So this talk is not meant to disrespect anyone. I'm not naming names. I'm not bad-mouthing anyone. I might do after a few drinks in the pub when we're not recorded, and no one can actually like blame me. So yeah, just pretend that any bad stories, it's not really around here. It's some other different galaxy or universe. Again, I started this talk thinking about all the bad side of cybersecurity education, but then as I was writing it, I realised it's actually a talk of opportunity. So I want to discuss the current landscapes. So popular paths. Everyone has a different journey with education and getting into the industry. You've got self-learning. There's pros and cons to that. I'm not going to cover all learning paths today. We've got boot camps. I will not touch them at all because it's so polarizing that I'd probably get killed. Apprenticeships. I love apprenticeships. If I could have one wish, it'd be see more cybersecurity apprenticeships out there in the world. It's one of the best ways to earn and learn. And university. So there are a few paths, and today I'm going to focus on self-learning and university. So, when we say self-learning, we're really saying I'm taking account of my own journey, my own destiny. You could be working in a shop. Sorry, I'm emotional actually. You could be working in a shop. You could really hate your life, but you could take charge and learn. It's a tailored approach. You can really aim. You don't have to learn about digital forensics if you don't want to learn about digital forensics. You don't have to learn about hacking if you don't want to learn about hacking. If you want to focus on GRC, you can do that, and no one's going to make fun of you, because they will in university. So self-learning is also a fantastic money saver. You can pirate stuff. You can YouTube stuff. You can ask questions. You can go to B-sides. You can learn or have a wealth of knowledge all at your fingertips, and it could cost you nothing. Or it could cost you everything if you're going through certifications like SANS, for example. The main problem I see is lack of recognition. So this is a popular cybersecurity learning platform. And this person, I don't know if we can see here, has managed to answer 996 questions in one day. So the average room will have, say, 3 to 4 questions, and they take 5 minutes to load. So somehow this person's managed to defeat time to get these answers. So some might argue and say, perhaps they've cheated. Lack of direction. Cybersecurity is a really complex topic. How do you want to learn about pen testing? Do you want to learn networking? Do you want to learn critical natural infrastructure? Like, there's so many paths you can take, and you could potentially waste your time. Self-learning struggles. When I said a full-time learner, I do a blog every day of my learning progress, and I get messages from all around the world. So, of people that are struggling, because they don't know what to do. How do they learn? This is just one. I've got a whole feed. It's quite overwhelming sometimes, because a lot of people are struggling. What they're after, though, is an opportunity to prove themselves. University has some major benefits. Recognition and credibility. Nothing is more recognised than a university degree. Having that bit of piece of paper can just open the doors. No matter how well you've done, there are jobs in cybersecurity that require a degree for no reason at all. They just require you to have a degree. And they say computer science, they say software development, they say all these kind of maths degrees, but they're for cybersecurity roles, so it really doesn't make sense for me at that point. There's me there. I'm the skinny one. Peer learning. That is some of the best experience I've had with learning cybersecurity in university. I'm quite older than most of the other students. They help me and I help them. So we kind of support each other, and that's one of the best, for me, the best things you have at university is the peer learning and structured learning. You know that you're going to do this day, this day, and at the end of the day, if you do everything you're told and pass, you're going to get your piece of paper. Here lies the problem though. What if your course doesn't align with what you want to do? So for example, there are a lot of university degrees that have PHP, web hacking, and they also have digital forensics crime scenes. They kind of contradict each other there. What do you want to do? Some universities have, like, what I quote, call filler modules, where they're just, seriously, this is getting interesting now, where they're like, almost filling a gap because they have to have it. You have to have the employability module, but the lecturers haven't worked in industry, so they're teaching you employability for something they haven't done themselves. So again, interesting problems there. This works better. Fees. Fees are a really interesting one. This is just this year. They could potentially go up next year. They say average overseas. I see average about 14 grand. That's a very prestigious university, I think. Here lies another problem with university funding. They keep changing the laws and the rules. They keep making it hard for universities to get money. So a lot of universities are losing staff left, right and centre. One university near a sunny beach in Wales has just let go 100 members of staff. So, yeah, that's one of the problems we have. Staff. This is a tricky one. Some of the best lecturers I had have been there for 20 years. And some of the best lecturers I had have been there for like 2 weeks. Some of the worst, yeah. Yeah, we'll talk about this more after a few drinks. But basically, it's not only the attitude, it's the skill set. So I know one story, for example, where one of the lecturers was off sick for depression for 6 months. They could not find a replacement. They had to get a PhD student to cover the lesson that has never covered the subject, and they was just doing this the whole lesson. Reading from the slide and just talking to them. So clearly they weren't qualified to teach, but there was no other solution because they couldn't find the staff, and rightly so. If we're saying the figures are correct, like you become a pen tester, 75,000 a year, why would you be a lecturer for starting 40k, for example? It doesn't make sense. Yeah. There's some more issue, after a few drinks. But ultimately, for me, I think they're trying to find themselves. They're trying to learn from each other. And this is where it gets really struggles. And COVID wasn't too long ago. And I've noticed myself interact with students that literally cannot look at you in the eye. They're so shy, they won't answer a question they know the answer to. They can write on a piece of paper, they physically won't get involved. It's a problem. There's not much been done to solve that solution, unfortunately. Universities have mentorship programs, but they're the blind leading the blind, if that's politically correct. What I really wanted to cover today, and what really changed, was the mindset of, let's not blame, let's change. Here we have a Cyber First. As I said, I'm active volunteer for Cyber First. This was a little survey they've done of people, of children the age of 14 to 16, if they were interested in cybersecurity, before and after a course with Cyber First. As you can see, they started at 53% and they raised to 90%, a 37% increase. That's amazing. There's nothing like that out there at all. The same thing for older generation, but it's slightly changed, so that maybe they lose an interest, or maybe the older generation find themselves. Here's another problem though. They're not going to be doing this anymore. This is potentially going for funding reasons. So what we need to do really is have industry professionals that actively want to be involved and help students, help young people. I've made this little, this tricky one here, sorry. I made this little ones to watch. These are a few companies that really inspired to me, and I kind of changed my talk after thinking about what they've done. So this company, Cyber, for example, they've gone to universities all across Wales and they've developed courses and they've done assessments and they've engaged students with real world problems. That's not a theoretic piece of paper, that's making a real scenario they can actively learn from. For Fox Security. So why I put them on here was, I was invited to their launch event, and one of the first things they said, they want to give back. They want to help educate the students, help keep them safe. They're only a small company, but if they can do it, why can't the bigger companies do it? North Stream Security, a lovely company, they've just literally won an award for innovation for cybersecurity education involving students. They was up against some giants. And they won. So I always get emotional about this, because I honestly believe we can really make a difference to people's lives. So opportunity. You have an opportunity to change the future. What I mean by this is, there's some people that really struggled in life. One of the students I know, at university, everyone called him the weird kid. A company came into the university and interacted with him, and they gave him a job, a little summer internship. So this weird kid, his life was changed by a company giving him an opportunity. And I just get emotional about that, because we never really understand what people are going through and what they're having to deal with. And life is really, really hard for these students. They're struggling so much. We have issues with confidence, lack of self-respect. The university does try, they give out surveys. Some of them are too afraid to even write it down, because they think, oh, I'm going to be recognised, because they have these conversations with me. And that's basically my little rant over. I don't want everyone to put anyone down, because we don't know what people are going through. But ultimately, if you want, you can change someone's life just by giving a bit of your time. Thank you. Sorry. It's the drugs, it's not me, it's the drugs. Yeah, I'm sure there's no questions. If you have any questions, just give me a shout, or find me. I'm the fat, bald, beard guy with one arm.
Thank you. Well, congratulations, Joe. That was unbelievable. Well done, mate. Very good.